Welcome to Mail Designer. Today I want to show you how to do a domain verification for AWS Route 53. Now, my domain is actually hosted on Ionos. However, I do have the domain verification set up or the name server set up on AWS, so I will show you the process to follow. So let's jump right in. First thing you do is you add your email address, which I've already done here, and then you will see the domain right here. To set up the domain, you click on this section right here and just click on one of the values. So we open up our AWS Route 53. You can find that just by going through the search if you don't have a direct link to it. And then we go into hosted zones and the domain that we want to add. So this is a view you want to look at, and we just start by selecting create record. All right, now here we will need to enter the details that are listed in the Mail Designer interface. So we start with the record name and just copy this and paste it here. The record type is this one in the middle, so we select TXT in the drop down, and then the value is just what we see in this text box over here. And then we paste that. All right, create record. Next one is SPF. Here, one thing I need to make you aware of is in case you do already have an SPF record in your list, then you would need to append that record. Since I don't have any SPF records in this list so far, I'm just going to create a new one. In this case, we already have the domain here. We don't have a subdomain that we're sending from. So in this case, we don't actually enter anything in this one. Just be aware that in case you do have a subdomain that you're sending from, so like email dot your domain, then you would enter the subdomain here. Record type again is TXT. And the value is this one. In case you do already have an entry here, you would only add this selected value into the existing record. So your existing record will look similar to this, and then you just have to include instead of this one. All right, create record. Next is DMARC. Create record. This is also TXT, and in this case you can see you also have the main domain here, and we also just need to input the difference, otherwise it's gonna like see, and like it basically completes the whole domain with your main domain information at the end already. Okay, so we select also TXT, and then the value is just the same as this box again. Create record. Okay, and last one, mail from. You'll need to create two records. One is MX and one is TXT. So let's go ahead and do that. In this case, we do just copy the mail from. And then do the MX record. Here it says that we need to enter it with priority 10. So in the example here, we just do 10 space, and then we copy this value. Perfect. Create. And then last one is also just the mail from with TXT, and then for the value we just copy again. Great. All right, that is it. Now, to refresh this, you can press this button right here, and you will see that one of them has already turned green, but the other ones are still pending. Keep in mind that for these changes to refresh, it may take some time. Definitely you have time to grab a coffee. It usually takes about an hour. For AWS, from my experience, it can take longer. It might take 24 to 48 hours. So you can go back and recheck it. You will see that these values sometimes fluctuate between green verified and the blue not verified. It just takes some time for it to propagate fully. Okay, now that we have the domain set up verified, let's go ahead and actually do the email verification. So I have added the email address, but I have not verified it. So I will go into my email inbox and just confirm the email address from the email I received just by pressing this button. Perfect. Email address has been verified. Wonderful. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also take a break, and I will come back once all of these values are green. Just be aware that after you've done the email verification, refresh the page to see the current status. So we can see this is now verified, and we're still waiting on these two. As I said, I'll be back. All right, we are back. So as you can see, it just refreshed and my domain verification has been completed. Everything is green. One thing to be aware of at this point, if you send an email with Mail Designer at the very moment that you see the 4 green check marks, you may have an issue. There's a chance that these values haven't propagated 100% to every email provider across the entire internet yet. Because of that, your email may temporarily land in spam. Before you start your first big send, I recommend waiting at least 12 to 48 hours. This ensures that the records have fully propagated globally. And after that time window, your deliverability will be based on your domain's actual reputation. If you still see issues after 48 hours, then I would recommend looking into specific spam optimization procedures. If you need assistance with this, we'll be happy to give you advice. We have a couple of FAQs covering this. So reach out in case you need help with that. That's it. Thank you for watching and happy sending with Mail Designer.